Hello everybody. Today we're going to do something called foreshortening. Foreshortening is really a useful thing in comics because it's, you always got things coming at you and flying at you. So foreshortening is basically, let me take a look at this if you can see it or not. I have a little flashlight tube here, and you can see the length of it. Now when you turn it, the length of it appears to shorten. It comes at you. Things flying at you and stuff like that. It's important to know how to do that. It's complicated. So this is a little more advanced thing to learn foreshortening. But learn your anatomy first and all that. But once you feel comfortable, foreshortening is really important. So let's look at this. Here I got these cylinders out here. You can kind of see that you want to try to, when you're drawing, you want to try to think in 3 dimensions. Think of like this. I have an arm here, and I want you to try to think of things like an arm 3-dimensionally, not flat. And so I did a cross section here. I'll show you. So you kind of see how it relates to these cylinders up here. And that should give you a feeling of depth. It's in perspective. You see a little bit of the cylinder here on the side. This is a bigger ellipse down here on that side. And let me make this as big as I can make it. And that's pretty important. So see these lips here, and then the arm is kind of small. And then as you can see, as it goes to the side, you see more of it, just like you can see more on this cylinder. So think in terms of that when you're thinking about an arm. Try not to just look at it like a flat piece. Think 3-dimensionally, and your drawings will be more dynamic. Okay, let's make this a little bit smaller up here. Put it up here, like yay. All right. Now, I'm going to do this. I've made this in advance. Actually, I'm going to just turn this off. Here is those 2 cylinders drawn in 1-point perspective. Now, I recommend you go, before you even watch this whole video, is to watch my video on 1, 2, and 3-point perspective. Understanding Perspective in Art is the title of it. I think it is anyways. And that is very, very important to understanding what I'm going to be doing here. But you can still watch this. I just thought you'll have a deeper understanding of what I'm going to draw here in a minute. Because I'm going to draw that same arm in perspective. Okay, I'm going to try to draw a character from Rogue One in perspective using the same technique here, in 3 dimensions, and see how this works out. So I'm going to try to draw this. Where's this arm? Like that. Foreshortened. See how it goes. Okay, so head. Doing my technique for female drawing made easy. Check out that video. That's a good one, I think. You can see I'm doing like see these cylinders. I'm making it like just like the cylinders. I got some reference I got to pull out here in a second here. Let's see, where's the gun? Okay. Slide this laser gun over here. See if I can get it right. Got some holes here. Some lines lines like that. So I'm just doing a rough. Then I'll go in here. And when I do roughs, it's almost like I'm making a target for myself. Laying down a bullseye. So all these things are so, they're loose, they're rough. I'm missing, you know, I kind of know generally where I'm going to aim. So I'm kind of aiming and so there, you kind of put a little, like a line here, line there, and it's not quite right, but you're getting close. And then when you do the finish, you got a good target to aim for. Okay, this is the main thing though, getting these cylinders to be right. I want to give her some attitude. You see, I'm doing that's the action line. Here's the force. Use the force, Luke. You really do actually do that when you're drawing. You feel the force. It's a lot like Star Wars, as corny as it sounds. Feel the force flowing through you. Feel the action. Feel the movement. When you're drawing, you put your heart into it. Wait, have I got it on the right layer? Let me see. Oh boy, I got it. Different layer here. Wait, which one is which? I gotta put these two layers together. Okay. Merge layers. Okay. What's she on? She's on this layer. Got some reference here. Okay. Okay, I gotta get these eyes in the right place. See, when I draw a face, it's like a target. Again, I'm putting an X there to mark the target right in the middle of the face. Then I can kind of find a nose from there, and then a mouth. And I'm gonna make her grimacing for action purposes. Here's a hairline. Let me get a reference out here for a second here. Okay, hair kind of comes down like this a little bit. And she's got a lot of this shawl stuff. Now the coat. See the coat, there's another cylinder right there. I'm keeping that thing a cylinder. And she's got this thing going across here and a pocket going down there with something in it. Okay, that's cool, I think. Okay, pull her off out of the way for a second. Make sure I've got a winner here. Let's see. It's not bad, not bad. The nose is pretty small. She's kind of got a wider face, kind of a cute face. And I think she's got gloves on. Let me see these. Yeah, it looks like gloves with just fingers exposed. Okay. Not that it matters that much for this sketch, but okay, you can kind of see how it's looking. Okay, now I'm going to bring this way down, make it almost disappear. And I'm going here with another layer. Now I'm going in for, now see, now that I have the target, I know where to aim. You know what's coming up next, or pretty soon, is I'm gonna drawing women. I realized when I drew my human head one, I didn't draw women in that, so I got a drawing female faces, females heads. They're so important to getting to comics. So okay, she's kind of got it's this very small nose, relatively speaking. That looks okay. Now I'm going to give her some eyes. I'm really kind of, when I do eyes, make sure you don't make these, a lot of people, put in an eye like this. And then they get in here heavy with this line here. It's like, just, you can do that, but it's kind of, it often gets you in trouble sometimes. You want to kind of keep it lighter, I think, when you're doing blue eyes in any case, which I believe she has. Okay. Wider face. But not much of a, not a big jaw. Like I say, she's kind of a cuteness kind of girl. Gotta watch out for this, for the eyes, too much eyeshadow. Don't want her to give that. I don't want to give her too much of that. I always put the most time into the face. That's where you want to put your time, because the face tells the story. Getting those eyes are just right. It's crucial. Hair. When you're doing hair, that's another video I gotta do hair. You want to bring it from the roots and follow it. Often you want to try to create one massive shape out of it. But hair moves like the waves in the water. Be like water, my friend. Don't want to give her too much a lip, because I think she's kind of, like I said, cuter, smaller lip. She's got a little more of that childlike face. Quite a bit of forehead, I believe. Okay, I'm going to have this shawl kind of going in front of her face. I think that's kind of some of the drama. It's sticking into it. Now, when it comes to clothing, that's another video I got to do. I realize I got to do clothing. What's helpful with clothing is not to do a lot of round shape. You think clothing's round, but actually, when people say clothing as in folding, it is a lot like it, like folding up a piece of paper. Think of crumpling up a piece of paper, and that gives you a better idea of what's happening with clothing. Okay, I'm going to start down here a little bit. Really trying to get that ellipse. I want to match these ellipses. They're pretty big. So get them even rounder if I can. So I got in the clothing, like I say, kind of folding, bending, creasing. Like paper. Papel. Alright, I won't spend too much time on the clothing because that's not the video. It's more of the foreshortening we're looking at here. Okay, the gun. Oops. Oops. Okay, let's pull back a little bit here. Pretty cool gun. Okay, where's the, we got this. Right, there's the target, but I noticed it's a little bit longer right here. So I moved this back to my original sketch because I'm trying to get it really right. How many holes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Look, I spaced them okay. Not great, not bad. Okay, let's get that. If I was, doing this, I could actually, let me just spin it. Spin it and try this. Now it's easier to make a straight line if you're spinning it. And also when you spin it, you notice some of your ellipses are off. Different perspective really, changing your perspective literally changes your perspective on things. You see it from a different way and you realize your mistakes. So I'll continue to spin this actually, just to see how it feels. Okay, let's spin it back. If you tap this spin tool down here twice, it just takes it right back, by the way. Nice little tip in Photoshop. Okay, she's got a glove on, that sort of thing. I recommend my video on drawing hands for this too. You're in good hands with my hands video. Is that corny or what? I learned a lot from drawing. My hands are tough, really tough. But I learned something when I studied. I had to really teach it. When you're teaching, you got to really study it and make sure you know what you're talking about. So I did, and my hands are much better than they were before I started. I mean, they're okay. I could muscle my way through it, but now they're much stronger. I have a better understanding, better depth of understanding. So I recommend the hands video if you're having trouble with hands. I tried to really break it down. It's a very a comprehensive study of hands, how they come together, how they work. I don't know. It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't have to be exact. Although I am a perfectionist. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can relax, Dan. Okay. Star Wars. I should talk about Star Wars. I was 12 years old when the first Star Wars came out. And oh my gosh. Just think about it, the time before Star Wars, and before any special effects, any computer graphics, any computers really, not much computer stuff. We had never seen anything like it. And you went to that, you saw the first one, The New Hope. Oh my goodness. You see that first scene where that ship's coming and it continues to just keep rolling and rolling and rolling in. And then the laser swords, it was just, I went nuts. I was the perfect age for that. It was just so much fun. I think I saw it in the theater like 5 times. Never did that with I don't, does that ever happen with the movies nowadays? I mean, do people go to see something 5 times? Well, that's what we did. We were like, oh my gosh, you got to see it again, because you didn't have direct to video. It didn't come out, so you went back. Even a couple years later, they would re-release it. It made millions more. It was incredible. That was such an exciting time. I still remember my buddy coming across the street saying, I just saw this movie. It's really cool, man. And he's trying to describe it to me, and he's like, there's this big black guy. And I'm thinking, African-American guy. Like, oh, okay, yeah, I got to go see that. I didn't know that he was talking about Darth Vader. So. Yeah, that was wild. Fun time to be a kid. Actually, anytime's a good time to be a kid. Once you get into the modern times where healthcare is good and stuff. Okay. How's she looking by the way? I'm pulling back. I gotta take a look and see how it's. Is it working? It's kind of cool. Give her a little more flare action here. A little hair coming out here. Like she means business. Someone's on the business end of that laser. Okay. Get the hand right. See, that's cylinders too. Going back, foreshortening. I'm doing the foreshortening in reverse here. So you see how the difference in the hand size? Big hand size here, small there. Okay, I'm gonna have to flip this and see how I did. Now the flipping, of course, is what I recommend. If you do it on drawing on paper, you want to have a mirror, and yeah, it looks really long and skinny. Yeah. Say, I didn't see that, but when you flip it, it's weird. You all of a sudden can see your mistakes. It's really a strange experience. And when you're working on paper, to use a mirror. It's much more difficult. This is so much better because you can flip it, work on it in the flip side, and then I wish I could do that in with a piece of paper. Someone said once you can put it in the light box and work on it, but then you're working on both sides of the paper, and I would think it gets a little complicated with that. But okay, I think we're getting there now. Let's see for costume. I'm going to take a look and see if there's anything I need to see here. Just a wrinkled shirt, pocket, holster. There's not a whole lot on here. Not a whole lot. Let's take the other drawing off. Let's take this off too. Wait a minute. This one and this off. So, yeah, it still looks kind of long to me for some reason. Like it's really, really distorted. I'm trying to exaggerate it for the effect too, but nevertheless. Looks really huge. Use my eraser a little bit here. Let's see. I don't know. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is just a lesson, so I'm not doing this for a job, for an assignment, so I don't have to worry about it being perfect. But if I was working on a job, I'd make it absolutely perfect, as I can, anyways, with time limited. Okay, how's the hair? Yeah, she kind of whisks back and everything. Yeah. Give her a little more booty. Okay. It's not bad. It's not bad. I think I'm gonna just take this. It just looks a little bit large to me. Still. And just knock it back a little bit. So it's not too freaky big. How's that? A little better? It's all right. Yeah. I think I made it too large still, but that's okay. Maybe if I just made her hand smaller, that might lessen the blow sort of in it. Because I think that's what bothered me. The hand looks really large. Okay. You see the process of drawing though, when you're drawing this stuff? It's a give and take kind of thing. I'm gonna reselect that and bring it down just a bit, tad. It's a series of making mistakes until you are done. So, unless you're some sort of genius, and I'm not, it takes a while to get there sometimes. Not just get here on the drawing, but get here, I've been drawing for 37 years, so it's like professionally. A lot longer for if you back when I started drawing as a kid. Okay, let's get a little more roundness to the eye here. Want a little more tude, a little more attitude. All right. But I like it. Okay. All right, let's put some color on her. I don't think I'm going to do like a really... Well, maybe I will. Maybe I'll just do a quick layer so that I can put some... In her case, it'd be nice to have a a shadow over her. It works good with fantasy. When you're working with clothing and stuff, not so much with superheroes, but with realistic things, clothing, like people in regular clothing or fantasy, muscles and all that stuff. It's kind of cool to be able to put a overlay on it. This is called putting the flats. I usually skip this step, but since it's just a quick figure, I think I can fit it in the video. Still keep it kind of short. Okay, let me get a little bit softer brush here. Looks like your finger's broken there. I gotta fix that. Okay. Let's see how fast I can actually color this thing. Let me get a challenge. How fast can I make this thing look decent? Okay, now I'm gonna, this layer, I put this flat on, I'm gonna block it. And I think I'm gonna actually do a hue and saturation, which you can't see because it doesn't, I don't know why you can't see it, but it doesn't allow it through StreamYard. Okay. I'm going to do that because it was just so blue. Now I'm going to add a bunch of layers. And I'm going to take them and shift select, then right click and go down to create clipping mask. And now all these will be clipped. Now what that means is they won't go over this one layer down here. So I can, if I want red and I go in here, I can draw over it and it doesn't go anywhere. So, but I don't need all those layers, but let's throw them in there just for now, just in case. So I got them as I quickly do these. Let's see how fast I can do her face. Usually I put this stuff on all different layers. I put the skin on one layer, hair on another layer. But I don't want to make this video too long. So I'm just going to go in here and just... Okay, let's go with a little bit of yellow. More of the skin is here a little bit, maybe a little bit more white on some of the highlight parts of her. Then I add a little bit of, I'd like to add a little bit of rose. Actually, you can go down here to the cheeks and stuff, and stuff where there's blood in the cheeks or a little bit of sunburn. I like that a little bit, kind of a. You want color variation in your faces. With girls, you got to be careful. You don't want to do that 5 o'clock shot. I often do that with the dudes, but it's not so popular with the women. Women don't really aspire for that tough guy look. All right, I'm going to go in here and actually hit this is the line work. I'm going to lock that layer, and then I'm going to go over it just because I usually do this with the nose because it's too dark and then it starts to get kind of gross. Okay, back to the girl. Okay, brown hair. Almost looks reddish. I want to go more gray here. Can I add some of that dark? I pulled it right. By the way, when I'm painting, I have my finger on the Option key, and that gives me the eyedropper, and I can just take a sample from anywhere on the page. So if I want some, oh, that looks black, grab that. Then I have to run over here constantly. Okay, she's mostly, what is she, like a brown? I don't know what you call that color. Hang on a second. It's almost like a, is it taupe? I forget what that color's called. And then she's kind of greenish more on this part. Now the brown, the glove is just brown. Skin. Now silver for the, and gray for this thing here. Maybe a little softer brush. I don't really use very many complicated brushes. Just a hard brush, soft brush, that's all I need. Don't need anything fancy. Get the job done. I don't know what she would have in her. She's not a very girly girl, so yeah, she won't have any nail polish on at all. Tough kid. All right. Okay, that's not too bad. All right, this kind of taupe cover for the color for the coat. Is that the word? I think I'm getting it wrong. Taupe. I want this green, army green for her, the rest of her. I gotta get this. There's a couple of missed spots here. I gotta make sure those are covered. Okay, it's kind of cool, isn't it? Yeah, but a string or hair too here, and maybe just a little bit of highlight. A little bit of. Let's see, she's got something silver in her pocket here. Mostly brown on that hand here because that's mostly glove. Okay. It's not too bad. I want to warm up these areas here. They look like they're a little bit dead. You know, when you watch my tutorial on color, you see how adding colors to colors kills the, makes it gray. Sometimes you got to go back and just make them, add a little bit of flair, a little bit of color to these things to pop it out. Okay, let me look at the face itself. See if there's anything I can need to kind of do here. Okay, it's not too bad. See, it's coming alive. It's coming alive. Okay. There. Go back and just think about these eyes a little bit more. Maybe I'll just add a little more, kind of blow them up a little bit. Even though it's not exactly her character. I'm not sure what color eyes she has exactly, but okay. See, there's a good deal. I think that's done. Let's see what the perspective looks like. Yeah. That's cool. Let me see. I could leave and get rid of the cylinders and kind of leave the perspective in here. Give it a little more action. Create here, by the way, here's a layer mask. Now you take this one here that looks like a rectangle with a circle in it. You click that baby, and then you can paint black, makes things disappear. Red or white makes it reveal. So black conceals, red reveals. So I gotta get rid of that red line. That's one thing for sure. But it gives it a little bit more action here. whatever. Yeah, just get rid of it completely. Give it a little bit of background though. Let's see. Just to make it interesting to finish up this illustration. Maybe I'll give it a little bit of a fun flare up here. Make this thing is firing or something. Yeah, something like that. Okay, now what I can do here is that since I did this flat, I can take all these layers, put them in one group down here, select them all, put them in a group, then put a layer, create a layer, put it on top, and do a clipping mask. So it only, what I do here will only affect what's on here, which is the color of the girl. And now I can do a multiply layer. A nice little blue or something like that. And I can kind of do some cool effect like that. Maybe there's a spotlight on her kind of or something. I don't know. Play with it till you get something, you know, a little warmer on her maybe. Yeah, lots of cool things you can do. I want to get rid of that. I don't really want that. I might just put a little bit of a shine though on those metal parts just for fun, and then I'm done. Just to give these metal parts a little something. Anyways, that's not too bad. Trying to draw on the fly here. Nah, I don't want that there. You know? Not too bad at all. Was there Jen or so? Yeah, I like this film. I thought this was one of the ones that reminded me of the Star Wars that I saw when I was a kid. So it was pretty cool. The Force and all that kind of stuff was cool in it. I am one with the Force is with me, or something like that. Okay, where's the figure layer here? See, I'm a perfectionist. I just go back and I'll noodle stuff until death, because I love it. Love to draw. So, but that's it. I think that's a pretty good quickie thing, and you kind of get a feel of what foreshortening does. What it's all about. I'm going to get rid of this stupid layer mask. I think delete that. Bring back those cylinders. So you can really see what's happening here. This thing is coming at you. And that's so important in comics. Oh my gosh, it's so important to getting things, you know, getting action and depth, and you want to be able to walk into those pictures. And that's why 1 and 2 and 3 point perspective is so important to know and learn and really own it, really feel it. So, but that's it for today, kids. Gonna like and share if you can. We really appreciate that. And I will see you in the next tutorial. Thanks for hanging out. See you. Bye.